Hello, good morning everyone. Warm welcome to babycode free TOEFL sessions. I'm Tanu Vermani, an IDP certified trainer and a TOEFL and TESOL certified trainer. I'm back with my live session number 11 for the TOEFL part, and we are covering our listening module. Candidates, we have already covered the reading module. All of the 7 sessions has been done for the reading module. Please go back to the reading module, start practicing for the reading part. And any doubts, any queries, you can type in the comment sections below the session details, right? And for the listening module, we have covered just content and just purpose questions, as well as we have covered the detail questions, the function questions also. And today we are covering attitude questions. So what is attitude questions basically? Attitude means when you have to infer the speaker's attitude or opinion. That means you have to guess out, you have to understand what is speaker's attitude or what is the speaker's opinion. Now, what are these questions and what you're supposed to do here is attitude question, they ask you to show understanding of speaker's attitude. What is the speaker's attitude here? You have to understand that. You have to understand the feelings of the speaker, like what he's talking about, right? And how he's feeling about something. So you will be getting the structure like attitude question means attitude or the feelings you have to understand. You can recognize attitude questions because they have phrases also. So very first thing which you need to remember is the phrases. What is the professor attitude? What does the student think about it? And what can be inferred from this? So you have to keep in mind this thing. Second thing is when you are recognizing the question type with these 3 phrases, it will be easier for you to know that yes, these are the attitude questions. So what is the professor's attitude? What does the student think about it? What can be inferred from this? So you have to identify speaker's attitude. You have to listen for phrases. What I think, what it seems to be. So when you're hearing a lecture or a conversation, you have to identify speaker's attitude. What I think, what it seems to be. Attitude question then refers to how valid a speaker's argument is or how sure of the fact the speaker is. What I think, what it seems to be. How valid is the argument? How sure of the facts of speaker you are? So whenever you answer attitude question, listen to the tone of speaker, right? So when you listen to the tone of speaker's voice, then it is easier for you to understand that what kind of tone, what he's talking about, how he's feeling about, right? Now, suppose if you're hearing a conversation and the conversation has someone accepting an apology, then their tone would be more gentle and understanding. Why? Because they are actually accepting an apology. They are giving an apology. They are saying sorry. So listen for the speaker's tone of voice. How we are going to answer this question? Second thing is that listening attitude questions, they are likely similar to inference questions. Now, why? Because there also you need to identify something that is not explicitly stated in the passage. Now, here the required test taker to identify speaker's attitude, speaker's opinion, or speaker's feeling about something mentioned in the lecture or the conversation. So they must rely upon the information that was presented by the speaker to answer that question. So basically, they have to make an educated guess also. There is usually only one of these questions per passage, and sometimes passage will have no attitude question. And they're easy to recognize because they have expressions like this. They have phrases like this. What is the professor attitude about this thing? What does the student think about this thing? What attitude does the professor express when she say this? What can be inferred from the professor? And what is the professor's opinion about it? So you will be finding these questions and then it is easier for you to recognize this. Now you have to keep these things in mind whenever you solve an attitude question. These are 3 things which you need to remember. Very first is keep in mind that you are using the words that the speaker used to determine how they feel about the overall topic or the specific aspect of it. You are not looking for what they have said exactly, but their words reveal about their thoughts. Second, if you are unsure which answer is correct, use the process of elimination. Some answer choices they may be more obviously wrong than others, easier to rule out. So look for answers that present information that is incorrect or was not included in the talk, or that draw illogical conclusions from the information. Finally, what you have to do is that answer choices are meant to be common opinions about the topic. So you may be able to decide or may be unable to decide between two answer choices. So in that case, you can guess. Remember that you do not get points deducted for wrong answer. There is true for all questions. So if you don't know the answer, you have time to actually solve. And if you're not able to get the answer, then you can make a guess. And one more thing is that you will only get to hear the lecture once. You won't be have an option to hear it again. Answers will be presented in the talk in the same order as the question. So I recommend that you read the question first before recording start and then answer the question as you listen to the lecture or your conversation. Attitude questions, as I have already mentioned, they talk about intention and attitude of the speaker when he or she talks about a specific detail. In other words, this question is about why the speaker mentioned this detail. They ask you or they shows you this type of question. They show you details in the prompt, but not actually ask for it. They can be tricky also, but the most important technique to get this question right is to look further than surface, right? So see an example here. What is the student's attitude towards jazz group? And you have four options here. So attitude here phrase means that these are attitude questions. Have a look at the question number 1. Here is an excerpt from a passage. This is a transcript and the question says, what is the university's employees attitude towards speaking event? Right? So what is his attitude towards speaking events? He thinks that they are waste of time and resources. He believes that guest speaker need to be more engaging. He thinks that there are few new discoveries to talk about. He doesn't understand why they have become less common. University employee, he says, good. Actually, I got to hear about some fascinating theories from very engaging speakers when I was a student here. You don't see that many speaking even these days. I wonder why that is. Female student says maybe because there are few discoveries left to be made. University employee says, I don't think that is really the case, but who knows? How would you like to advertise the event? So, do you think he's talking about the first option that they are waste of time and resources? No. He believed that guest speakers need to be more engaging? No. I got to hear some fascinating theories from engaging speakers, but he don't believe that so. And he thinks that there are few new discoveries to talk about. No, I don't think so. That is really the case. He doesn't understand why they have become less common. Yes, because he wonders actually why that is. You don't see that many speaking even these days. I wonder why that is. So his attitude is like he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why they have become less common, right? So that means D is the correct option. You can see the explanation part also for better explanation. Now, important notes which you need to keep in mind that attitude questions, they can be rather difficult to write depending on the material. They tend to be easier to write for conversations than for the lecture because people, they express more opinions when they chat, right? Than when they teach. In lectures, that is continuous. They are not chatting. But conversations, they are chatting and they are expressing their opinion. So when writing attitude questions, I try to find a place where one person expresses an opinion without explicitly stating it. All of the answer choices must contain words that were used in the lecture or conversation. Otherwise, they do not make effective distractors. Some of them will directly contradict the passage, while others will draw illogical conclusion from the information that was mentioned. For attitude question, I often include commonly held opinions on the topic that do not match with the feeling that speaker is expressing. Like I also like to make distractors that express the idea that the other speaker has, like the answer choice C in the previous example. It was a different speaker. The comment will stay in the test taker's mind, making the answer choice seem more correct. So please keep in mind for the distractors also, and like who said and you're looking for which person's attitude. So we have covered this topic today. Go back to the YouTube, go back to the baby code application, watch this session anytime as per your comfortability, right? And you can keep practicing and keep learning for the attitude questions, for the function questions, detail questions, just content and just purpose questions, right? Thank you so much for watching a live session. Stay tuned with us. Don't miss out and start practicing for the TOEFL. All the sessions are available in English and Hindi, both the languages. Thank you. Bye bye, all of you.